All right, hello everybody. As promised, here a short video about the usage of Teamfight Tactics to learn a little bit about economics and also statistics. So the first match we will use a little bit for as a live example of decision making under uncertainty, the economic logic, and after that, we do another match on using it more statistically valid. So I will start with the match focusing on what TFT is, how you use TFT, and how you also use the meta TFT tool. But also already introducing the economic perspective, and that is something where it will be quite interesting to utilize it, and furthermore to give you some practical examples how TFT can be used. Yeah, I'm still talking a little bit as this game is starting or I'm finding a match. But yeah, the idea really to look into what is happening, how we can use it, and that is something where a lot of video games can be utilized for certain aspects, certain ideas, but also a lot of games already have the ideas. So it is a really good tool for already learning and training. So here down there, that is my character. We have here 8 other players who are fighting against you, and you have different rounds with different impacts. So the first rounds are more about, as it's an auto battler, about finding a good composition that is helpful. Here on the left side, you see the different aspects or the different aspects you can use. There is the idea to combine characters with the same traits. Like here, that guy is Bilgewater and Quick Striker, Twisted Fate. It is 2 gold expensive, and you have downstairs a couple others. You can here buy a new one, so you find a selection that is working. You have to level up. That is also where you use your gold. You can re-roll. That is also where you use your gold. And this is your total income possible. That depends on the idea how much interest you gather. Every 10 gold you get 1 interest, up to 50. And this is the goal where you have to go with. So you're looking now more like, okay, what is a good way or what is a good composition you can play with? I tried to do an Iona build because with every Iona I'm also getting more experience. This is this here downstairs. Every round you're getting also an experience. So yeah, Teamfight Tactics sounds really complicated, but it is a game that is quite interesting. Here, in some rounds, you see here on the top, some rounds are telling you you can buy something as an augment. You have here a more combat augment. Here you can think about a different augment. Here is something where you see Meta TFT gives you an opportunity what is possible. I'm going with placebo because that is at least something where I can focus a little bit more on what is happening in the game. Another thing is you can do items on those and combine those items. I'm now doing some item combination that might work. This item here, even Shroud, sunders the opponent, and this is something which decreases the resistance of the opponent. Here, something on the top where you see the win chances are not that high for me. Yeah, I probably will not win. But at the same time, if I look at, yeah, so if they beat me, I lose health. And if I beat them, I remove health from them. And that is something which is also important for you to think about. If you have a losing streak, you are getting more gold. If you're having a winning streak, you are also getting more gold. So it makes sense for you to strategically think about your gold economics, to maybe think about now going into a losing streak to actually get some gold up. But that also comes into the situation where if the opponent is trying to do the same thing, that can be problematic. So here Diana 214 lost the last one as well. However, my board is stronger. So that is something as well. Think about the idea how to do a losing streak, how to do a structure where you can actually bank some items or gold in that sense. So I won now. So now I should consider winning further. Having a deck or having a set of characters that have a high synergy out of it, and also try to win against the opponent. Okay, that might have not worked quite well, because the opponent has a strong, has strong opponents, and it seems like I am losing here. But okay, that is still not that terrible, because keep in mind we have 92 health, therefore we still in the game. It's quite early in the game, but that is also something where you have to economically, strategically think about what you can do. Here, this is the carousel. Depending on your ranking, you are allowed to pick something in the carousel. And that is something as well where you have to think about what are you choosing, what do you want. There are certain items that are helpful, there are certain heroes that are helpful. Therefore, this is also something strategically. And that's why I got a recurve bow to craft an item that helped me further. But the good part is, even though I have lost now, or I switched, rotate between winning and losing, I am still having some money here, and also a deck or a board that can be quite strong in the future. It is something which is also where you have to think about long-term goals you are having. Again, as you see as the opponent, he or she has an Iona board as well. However, and that's a good part for me maybe, I have more gold on the bank than he or she. That is something you see here, which means I still might in the long run have a better board, because at some point I can then look into investing my money if I still make more money a long run. And yeah, that is the important part as well, to think about how you invest and when you are investing. So I'm currently at 40 gold, which means, yeah, I can still lose rounds, because 87 is quite high and you are losing less life in the beginning of the match. But therefore, it makes sense to look into getting some money. Okay, here again, a strong board, but also if you think about now, this guy Shen, we saw him in nearly every match in the last 5 matches, which means he is highly competed. There is a certain amount of heroes in your deck which you can utilize. You have the level 1 or tier 1 or gold 1, gold 2, gold 3, there are gold 4 and there are gold 5 heroes. And that is something. The 5ers are rarer, the ones are more common. Or more often in the whole deck of heroes. And therefore you have to think about if it's a card or if it's a system that is highly competed, a hero highly competed, you should think about and you should scout. I'm not doing that in that match, but it is something where you have to think about, okay, there is only a few of those in the deck. But everybody else has used it or is using it. So this again is something strategically where you have to think about how you can use it, where you can use it, and for what you can use it. And yeah, I mean, it's the part where we can have a look at the opponents for short. Okay, one opponent has also Ionia. Okay, not Ionia. There is a Shen 2, so a level up version. Another one with Ionia, focusing on Demacia. Another one where one Ionia is on deck. Another one with Ionia. Yeah, so probably a bad choice on my side to go with Ionia in that match, but it is something where you have to scout to look what your opponents are doing in order to battle it out. So yeah, let's see how that turns out, but it is something which you have to think about. Same with the idea of what augments you are choosing. I mean, if I would not cast now, I might go with the Recombobulator, but that is a little bit more stressful. But yeah, let's go with Titanic Titan, because that means I'm getting health and can be then live longer, let's say it that way, and show you a bit more around. Titanic Titan is an augment that gives you more health, so you are back at 25. Also, your character is a bit bigger, and it gives me a boost in the ranking. This still means that I am not better at with my board. You still see I am quite struggling with, but at the same time it gives me a lot more life to survive. And now you see my lose streak is at 5 losses, which gives me every round 2 more. So I have my passive income with 5. I have my interest of 5, that is maxed out at 50. I have my lose streak, which gives me +2. And therefore I'm getting 12 or 13 even, probably 12. So that means I can still build up my board or at least spend some money. And that is something where it is helpful for you to check out what you do with your economics. And therefore that is a good example to showcase where it might make sense to lose in the beginning just to have an economic advantage against the opponent. Still, at some point I need to switch up to get my board stronger. So that is also something where you have to think about, do I switch up my board? Do I commit to my board? And that can be or should be a question you have to answer at some point. And yeah, as I have Titanic Titan, I can play on the carousel a bit earlier. So that is helpful as well to get an advantage. The carousel is often a tool for teamfight tactics that others can, that are able to have a chance to what you call it, pick up, or that you get a chance to win in the long run. So I still have with 77 a good buffer for my health, so I will try to keep the money or keep the economics quite high. However, at the same time, I do have to think about when I should roll down. Roll down means I take all my money and roll down to get a better deck. This can be something which can be quite helpful, where you get a strong deck. However, at the same time, it could also doesn't work, where it means you have bad luck, you have good luck. So that is something as well, which with that deck, it might be quite problematic because it is competed. So Ionia is competed, so it might be that I have some problems in getting the good heroes for my board. So for this match, we will try that next round, because next round is a PvE round where I don't have an opponent, and just play against some PvE characters. So normally a good time, because you will win against them, and it gives you some time to deal with it. Again, you see I am losing horribly against most of the opponents. So yeah, let's see how that turns out. So you see I'm buying XP to build or get some characters. In the current TFT set, there is a mechanic where you can unlock certain champions. I am now unlocking Set as a new champion for next round, in order to have a stronger deck. Okay, Set is unlocked, so let's try that. And let's see what we are taking here. Now those things are not that relevant for you, but still. You see now I at least seem to have a bigger chance against the opponent. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah. Still, keep in mind the opponent has more gold than me. Therefore, it still might have a competitive advantage against me in the next rounds.
All your life has led to this moment.
Witness the strength of Noxus.
Let's see how that works.
Witness the strength of Noxus.
Okay, now you see I rolled down to get a certain deck around to get characters that create a synergy out of it. So you see now I have 5 Ionia, 2 Arcanists, 2 Bruisers that are helpful, and I have couple 5 gold heroes that are quite strong. So they are also quite helpful in fighting. However, I have now 0 gold, which means, as you can see, I only have my passive income and potentially 1 gold out of winning, because I also don't really have a winning streak out of that. But also here you see there was a 93% chance that I'm winning. Yeah, I lost. Which this is again something for you to keep in mind. Even though there is a 93% chance that I am winning, I still can lose. Which definitely didn't help me right now, because now again I'm on a losing streak. I have to lose more to get more gold. However, my health is not that high. And yeah, also just seeing, it's probably better if I put me up there. So you can also see here the level and the XP and the reroll. Okay, 83% chance. That it's not looking good. Okay, it was not great, but I still won. The numbers are looking quite weird, but okay. This is how it is. Yeah. So still something where I am still in the game, but if I look at the opponents, full gold, okay, no gold, full gold, full gold. So
I see right through
this is something where it still might be quite difficult to fight against them. Yeah, I'm just trying to give it to a character or hero that is a little bit stronger. I will not get into detail of the items, but let's say that way those items are not great for that opponent or that hero, but it still might be sufficient to win that round. But I do have to think about which of those heroes is my carrier of the game. But still, as you see, my economics are still not that great, but I'm trying to build them up to get some more money. But yeah, here I have now the chance of switching to a character that is quite strong and would be quite helpful to get that on a tier 2 level. But yeah, overall, my deck looks okay, at least for an Ionia deck. My opponent has a good deck in itself with Demacia, and it has a lot of money on the bank, which means at some point it can strengthen that deck quite strongly. Yeah, for me at least it was enough to survive and win, which is quite important as well, because you see, at least outside of Power of Arrow, everybody is quite close to each other. So that means couple more losses can lead to you losing in that sense. And that is something where it becomes now more pressure because now you have to think about, do I risk one loss to get a higher gold count, or do I keep my gold count lower and increasing the chances of winning? And that is really important for you to figure out. And now I did a stupid mistake in selling Yunara. Yeah, that was a stupid mistake. But okay, it is still the part where it can happen. You have to now figure out, because now it is like I have 44 gold. I could buy XP to get into level 9, so I can add another hero on the field. At the same time, I'm also can reroll to think about getting a new, getting some of the heroes I have on deck on a higher level. That could work as well. Or I just bank my account and wait for one more round. However, there at the same time you have the issue that the longer you wait, the weaker your board gets, the stronger the opponents get. That means you have to strategically think about what are you doing with your gold. A lot of ideas are good. If I level up, I'm not only getting one more hero on my deck, but also a higher chance of getting those purple ones, epic heroes like that one, or a legendary one. So that is something where you have to figure out what is working best. Yeah, just looking at the opponent, I'm not entirely sure how MetaTFT thinks about me winning that. Because the opponent is beefy. Where you see that one with a lot of health. Yeah. I was not seeing that winning. But yeah, still. This is something where we could now lose one time more because we will still survive. But at the same time, because the next one is a carousel. So we will have one opponent and then the carousel. But that means also we are close to elimination. So what we will definitely see is in the next rounds, couple of eliminations. So yeah, that one. That one is strong. They have a Malhazar tier 3, which costs 3 gold. And a Zoe, same part, which is super strong. Which means, I don't know, even if I would have rolled down, I would probably have lost. But yeah, oh my god, that is a close one where you have those 4 are all on their last life. Yeah. This is quite tense. You have that one on 1 life, you have that one on 1 life. I mean, that is something where that one has a similar build as me. It might even be a good idea to wait 1 more round and then roll down if that one is eliminated. Yeah, let's see if that was a good idea. Oh, I'm playing against that one. It could work. I mean, I'd at least have set as a level 2, a tier 2, so that could be quite helpful. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, that was a close one. I don't know how the 90% are coming in. But yeah, now it might be as I have bested my direct or my opponent with the same build that I have a higher chance of getting Ionia characters. So this could be quite helpful for me. And also you saw in the last round, 3 of them disappeared. But at the same time, you see my economics is broke. Where at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm 2 rounds or 2 losses away from an elimination. It might not even make sense to bank the money to get interest in. However, it is still something where it becomes more and more, more and more tense. Yeah, quite close match. But yeah, this is something where you always have to figure out what is the best way or best approach to deal with your money. So this round is probably something where you're playing against a PvE character, so you will win with that deck, definitely. You will gain some money and you will gain some items. So at least there it makes sense to wait and hope that the next one is a little bit better. Okay, I got a Yunara tier 2. That helps a lot just to survive. At the same time, it might be good to try to get Kindred on a next level. Now I have 2 Yanuras, but the part is to get tier 3 of a character, you need 6 more of those. So it might not even make sense to try it at that stage because the opponents are getting stronger and stronger. And you see here 58 chance. The opponent is strong. You are strong. And yeah, Losing it will hurt me quite a lot. Sure, the opponent is quite beefy in terms of health, but yeah, it is something where close. But yeah, at least made a top 4, and that is an interesting result as well. As you have seen, I was losing like nearly all rounds in the beginning to get a beefy amount of health, not beefy amount of gold. So I lost a lot of health in order to gain a lot of gold, to get a high interest, in order to achieve some, some chance to win in the late game. Still, probably staying with top 4 if I look at my opponents. Yeah, tough one. Yeah, let's see how that turns out. But I do guess that is a loss. Maybe. Okay, 1. Sure, taking it. But that means I'm top 2. Yeah, I will not win against that one. But top 2, I mean, it's top 2. Let's try something positioning. The opponent is strong enough, so probably not working. But who knows? Yeah, so the opponent is, if you look at the health, that is quite beefy. Not really getting through. I mean, if Zed is going into the backline, I might have a chance. Okay. But yeah, let's see if that... Okay, that one has some gold, so it will be tough. Let's see if I get that one. Okay, at least that I get some item that I can utilize. However, with 48 health, the opponent has time to build something up. At the same time, I don't have much gold. I can hope that I get a kindred. Yeah, I can get a kindred, but I don't have enough gold. So, maybe next round I can get it because you can lock your store offerings. But at the same time, besides the item, not much has changed, so I'm not sure how much I can make. Especially Dr. Mundo is tanking my my set quite long. Okay, yeah. I mean, second place, not bad for doing multitasking. However, just for you to reiterate what you were learning a little bit, you see the idea of getting a more economical leap in the first rounds can have a strong impact on the later rounds. However, it might be something where you have to figure out what is working and what is not working. So let's do one more round. You have now learned a little bit about the economics. I know the game is complicated. I know there is a big depth in that game. But I will try now to have a similar build. Ideally, I'm able to get the same build, so you can focus on other things in there. But it's something where you also see with that yeah, sorry about that. Where you can see a lot of those ideas in there that can be helpful. Again, I focus now a little bit more on the strategic or statistical part. As I said, with the game that if you have a 5 gold character, there are, I think, in total 10 in the game. So if the opponent has, it might make sense to not go for that one because the chances are low that you are getting those characters. You also saw right now with Ionia, it was highly competed because several had those. Luckily, it was enough to be second, but with a build that is so competed, I will not probably make one. That is something which is quite important. Still, something that is important for you to keep in mind. And I will try to look into it a bit more in detail, is the scouting part, where you look, okay, what is the opponent doing? What are they buying? Did they roll down? And all of those things. So definitely something where we have to look into it. And yeah, for example, now we have that upgraded champion, which is also different every round. But that means everybody starts with a level 2, or a 2-star 1-cost champion. I mean, if we look at the opponents, here is a Bilgewater, here that one has the same one, here is a Yordle, here is a Demacia, here is Ionia. Demacia, Ionia. I do probably get the feeling that Ionia is probably not a good choice. However, yeah, this is something where you have to figure out what you are choosing, what you want to take, and where you want to go. You see right now as well where, I don't know, I can go Yordle, that might be an idea. Let's try Yordle. Fun, it's cute. Here, something which might be interesting for those who are playing. You can do some builds in previous where you can then follow. Sure, now I get a Shen, which had meant I could have gone Ionia. But yeah, we now stick with that. Let's see how that works. I mean, stars are boring. That sounds nice, especially with Ionia build. That you have a chance to buy a 2-star character with only the price of 1, which is absolutely great, especially if you're going with a Ionia build, which is mostly those small expense characters. I mean, if you look here, those are all Ionia characters besides that one, which are all quite cheap. And Ionia's specialty is if you have 4 of them, every first shop each round has 1 in it. So you can build it quickly against opponents. Here you see that opponent is going to a Bruiser build. That may be also Bruiser Ionia. Not sure. Okay, another Bruiser. That is an Arcanist. Another Bruiser. Freylord. And me with Yordle. So in theory, my statistical chances of getting Yordle are quite high because at the moment nobody's competing. At the same time, I do need a fourth Yordle to have a strong build there. So I do spend some money to get the Yordle 4. Yordle 4. And now every round I'm getting one Yordle, which helps me quite a lot in the long run because now I can build it up. And we have here, as you can see already, 4 Yordle. So it means I only missing 5 Yordles to get the 3-star champion. So that is something as well where you have to figure out your risk and your statistical chances of spending money and not getting interest out of there in order to get some specific heroes. So normally with most builds you are not rolling until around 3 something or 4 something. But there are cases where the risk might outweigh the losses. Because if I get a Yordle 3-star quite early, that can have a strong impact. Let's scout again. And still Targon Bruiser, Ionia Bruiser, Longshot Bruiser, Ionia Slayer, Arcanist with some Bruiser in there. Again, Bruiser, Freylord. So, right now, even though my deck is not strong, there is a good chance that I have time to build up a strong deck that scales quite a lot, especially because I am not competed on it. So most of the opponents don't really have any Yordle in there. Still, I'm weak. So that's why I'm winning with 33 out of 550. Still, it could be quite beneficial. So now you have to look for certain items. With Yordle, I do like to get the needlessly large rod because you need that to unlock a Yordle character. But at the same time, people do love the needlessly large rod because it creates a lot of good items. So ideally, I have to look for an item or an augment or something to get that. So yeah, that will be something where we have to look out in order to achieve a certain set. Same time, as you can see, we have here the chance of unlock certain heroes quite early. So Cannon will be unlocked for the next round, which is a strong tank, which makes potentially sense to try that. At the same time, also figuring out if we go 6 quite early, just to unlock the next perk, which is 1 free reroll per round, which if you get it early, you can stack up quite easily. So again, we're in the situation, do I invest my gold right now or not? That is a simple question. Let's say it that way. That is a simple question for which I don't know. Let's try it. I do know, depending on the opponent, I have a weak deck. Maybe it is enough, so we can get the interest up and get the PvE round in order to gain some more money that we can roll or buy XP for level 6. Yeah, as said, that is a strong opponent. McCarter has not lost. Yeah, has not lost any round. So this is something where we win. Again, it might be that that thing is broken, but honestly, I was not seeing us winning there. I love it, no question. But that means we got a lot more gold, and that means as well, if we get some gold from those thingies, those grumps, it might make sense to just roll to 6 because we have a 6th Yordle. Yeah, I think we're rolling to 6. So you see we have now not a bad board. It's still a little bit on the weaker side, but we can build up now a lot of free rerolls because there is not necessarily a need with Yordle to reroll because you are getting one for in your shop. So we still build up the opponent or the characters, the heroes, but same time we do now are getting some losses just because some of the decks scale better in the mid game. And yeah, that is something where we have to look how we adapt to it, because we still have to unlock Vega and the other ones. So we can gain one copy of each one cost, which might be an idea. We can get a Thief Gloves, that's an item. No, we don't do that. Let's try that. I mean, technically that way we are pushing at least our characters. We now have Rumble at 8 out of 9, Lulu 6 out of 9, Tristana is 2 cost, 2 star, and yeah, let's try it how that works. Again, still extremely weak, but at the same time that gave us some money in addition. So you see we are back above 50, so we get the highest interest. Therefore it makes sense to maybe start a losing streak because we do have a lot of health still. just in order to get some money out of it. Okay, I mean that is cool. That helps a lot. So we get cannon, which is a free cost, to a 2-star, which gives us a somewhat beefy yordle, which is helpful because in the long run, our tanks need to tank. Especially those guys are ramping up. With them not having enough time, we will lose a lot of matches. Still, if we look at our opponent, looks strong what it has. Same time, its economics are not that great. It's not getting that much interest, so probably just recently rolled down. But see how beefy cannon can be, which helps us a lot. It will not be enough. Okay, it will be enough. So you saw that with cannon we were able to survive, even though all of them were quite low, but all damage was focused on cannon. So again, that one we want. That one we probably don't get. But that one is the most special one because of the item. But also Swain is kind of a good fit when we are at 8. However, at that level, you are probably selling it just for the gold, because 4 gold is 1 buy of XP, which might be really helpful at that time, because you do want to get at some point level 7. And here is now the question where you can, if you buy now, you get level 7. However, you are losing 1 interest. But it might make sense to just try it, especially in level 7 we are unlocking other yordles. Still, could be also a super stupid idea, because at the same time I could have waited 1 round and hoped for a rumble. But those are the things where you have to think about it. What is your risk? Why are you doing? Do you hurt your economy? Do you hurt your pool of heroes you can get? Do you keep your winning streak alive or not? So there are a lot of things you have to think about and factor in. And I don't know, definitely don't look at the win chance. But that's at the same time, again, where you have to think about it might be wrong what they are writing in there. And that is something as well you have to figure out on your own. What is a good way to deal with those numbers? Do you trust those numbers, or are you saying, nah, I don't trust those numbers? Anyhow, now we are 7 yordles. Next one is level 8. It makes sense to not break our bank immediately because of that. Especially, that is again this build that won last match. Super strong. I mean, we can get something down, but still a deck where we cannot compete against it. So this will be a loss. Therefore, now breaking our bank just to hit level 8 would have been a stupid idea. Yeah, that one, it's interesting, probably hardcore Ionia. Another Ionia, so they are competing against each other. That one went Quick Striker, still a simulator. Son, not even sure if that is good currently. And yeah, that's those bruiser builds that are quite strong in itself. But yeah, we got Rumble Freestar, which is definitely quite helpful now. So now we will try to get to level 8. Level 8 means in this case we are getting a Yordle grab back every round, which will be quite helpful and supportive. Still, as you can see, our chances of getting Vigar, which is technically 4 times this item, are getting slimmer and slimmer. It still might work, but that means our carrier, that is normally a Vigar, is looking worse and worse. So we might go with a Fizz, even though Fizz is not the strongest at the moment, but it might be a good idea to choose Fizz because that one we can get on the highest level. And yeah, let's see what augments we can have. I mean, that is cool, but at the same time, not really necessary. We can do a spatula. Nah, probably not. Let's try that one. Not entirely sure if that is a good choice. But whatever. 4-2 is always a good round to roll down. Yeah, so now we have that typical Yordle problem. You have no space. So now you have to look what you are actually choosing. But yeah, the good part about Yordle 8 is you're getting also every round back with some items in there. That can be helpful as well to push your heroes even higher. So yeah, you see, for example, here Lesser Champion, which can be helpful, especially if you now have like that. Now we have that one on the highest level, which definitely is a good thing. And now it is more like looking how that works around. But yeah, let's see how the opponents are looking. Here we have a 7 Ionia, so a strong build, even though it tanked quite a lot. Again, a Ionia build. Here we have the Quick Striker. Here we have a 7 Son, also strong. Here we have Stun build. Here the Targon Bruiser, I think that is the strongest build on the deck. And I think that one, so those two at the top are quite well looking, which means a lot of health points to go through, which is definitely something where we might have to think about itemize in a certain direction. yeah, so getting my first rabbit on Steph cap. Out of 2, I need to get Viger. So let's see how that turns out. Maybe I get the Viger in the long run. That would be really good because it is a strong. It's a strong upgrade. But yeah, at the same time, it's probably also a good idea to start banking a little bit of money just for having a chance to compete against the others. They are starting again. Okay, that one is broke. That one is broke. That one, that will be a toughie. Okay, that one rolled down as well. That one as well. And yeah, if the number 1 is still banking, that is strong sign, as well as 3-star Bard and a 3-star Ilaoi. So that will be tough. Yeah, and at the same time you have a Jinx that just went berserk. Not even the Jinx that Warwick went berserk. So that's the Zone 7, which is also a strong opponent. But yeah, let's see how that turns out. I mean, we might... Okay. That will be fun. So, Sudanoid got a Jinx free, has a Warwick 2.
Master Kennen, surely this isn't how you intend to greet.
Yeah. Tough. Yeah. Have to admit, little bit scared about our opponents, especially a Jinx free can just destroy us. Simply said as that. So might be a short one. So yeah, that is something where we might definitely see problems ahead, because we are Yordle 8, so we are quite locked in, and we invested a lot into Yordle 8. So it is something where it might not make sense to pivot into something else. Yeah, let's try that. But at the same time, it also makes sense to soon think about rolling down again, because we also don't have that much health. Okay, at least Fizz up there is going through the backline. That helps us a lot, because then we have some chance to kill the DPS we're fighting against. So that is extremely helpful right now to win that round. So it becomes that Fizz will be our carrier, and maybe we get a chance of getting a Kabuku free. So that helps us a lot. But let's see how the next match up turns out. Maybe we can go then level 9 and hopefully add a Swain to it. But yeah, at the same time you see also, okay, we will probably not get a Vega. We can get a 6 out of it. That is then extremely helpful, where we can team out a 6 with a Teemo. And a 6 also in itself is a quite strong. Quite strong. But yeah, you also see our damage is more and more lacking. So even though we win, it becomes tough. As you can see, everybody else is already finished, and we had to wait a long time. Okay, but that's not bad.
My hammer is better.
Nope. Here I am.
But yeah, okay. I mean, that doesn't look that horrible. But still, it's something where, yeah, we have now that one. Just if we look here at the DPS, they are shredding through my lines. So it depends a bit on the idea of good targeting. Currently, I have no idea what to do with that. So, but now we played against that one, so we don't have to play next round against it. So maybe the switch to 6 helps us to do some damage. Yeah, it might be helpful. Let's see how that turns out. We are not getting the best items for the 6. That is clear. Still, it might be enough to win a couple rounds. Again, you see everybody quite low. As I said, that one... Ooh, hopefully we're not playing against that one.
Witness the strength of Noxus.
But yeah, now we switching here. Adding that, giving 6 that item. Not happy about that, but better than nothing. And the Hail Mary of getting more fizzes until we die. So my economy is broken. Theirs 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 maybe not yet. And the number one still has a beefy amount of money. But yeah, that you can see where we have that struggle of killing stuff. Though the good part at the same time, we have a beefy tank line, so that is helpful as well. I mean, the good part about that is you can always refresh one time every round, so there is no harm in not trying it. I do try to get more of those fizzes. If I get that on a 3-star, I have something against the Zaun player. But yeah, I'm playing against the Bruiser, and ooh, that's a toughie. I think the good part at least is we will survive that round. And then at least if we are lucky, don't have to play against that one sometime. So yes, one more life. But yeah, at least again top 4. So my bare minimum in those matches here was to to be top 4 in every match. But yeah, keep in mind what the lesson here is, that you have a lot of strategic ideas to deal with. You have the economics in there. You have a lot of factors you can have to deal with. You have to balance it. Do you take the risk? Do you take the other risk? I mean, at the same time, having gold on the bank and losing is not good as well, because then you're also losing. So at least here it makes sense to, I'm on my last life, to hope that I'm getting 6 2-star and maybe a Swain 2-star. That also makes sense that I'm not trying to keep Fizz. Okay, that didn't work out, but a 6 2-star, that might help. I'm not entirely sure, but it is at least something where we can say it will help us in some capacity. And yeah, I mean, my tanks are alive, my DPS is alive, and that worked. So again, second place. Weird. Let's see if we get a Swain 2-star. Okay. Okay, but the part is I have to now break 42 and yeah. Not sure about that. I would give me a 20% chance. I mean, I don't know if it's that true or not, but I'm close to the percentage of the opponent or for Meta TFT. But yeah, still, let's see how much we are getting killed. I mean, the goal is at least to have 2 opponents. But yeah, that was 2 TFT matches where we watched, or you watched me play. And it is something where it's quite complicated to do both of the things at the same time. But it is something where you see the complexity behind the game is interesting, and you have all of those decisions. And that is the part that makes it interesting for you, where a lot of those skills you can translate into the real world, where the economic aspect, if you are spending a lot of money and not investing or thinking about getting interest, that is something where that makes less sense, where if you think about your pension or stuff like that, if you now pay into it, you will have a bigger pension at the very end. And that is something as well where you think about the strategic ideas. Do you invest now? Do you reroll now? Do you do something now? Or do you think if I wait, I have a bigger outcome at the late run? So this is just a TFT video for you guys to look into what you can learn out of it. I do know it's a complex game. I do know it is hard to follow, but it is something where you learn a lot of skills, which are quite useful for the future. And one thing I definitely have to say, don't trust tools. I mean, half of the time the percentage was probably right, but it still showed, and that's why I'm quite happy about it, cases where your percentage was low and you won, your percentage was high and you lost. So thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Have a nice day.